Hey there, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a War Machine Battle Report. This is more training for a tournament coming up. It's going to be hardcore, but with a death clock of 42 minutes and 35 points, and it looks like I'm up here against eVayl. So here you can kind of see the board on my side of my same tournament list I'm practicing with, and it has eCaine with the Sentinel and the Stormwall. I also have the Black 13th, I have the Squire, I have Reinhold, and I also have Alexia and her Risen. And I really have to start finishing painting these guys. You can also see that there's some Rangers up there, and for his part there, he's running a Tier 4 eVayl because that's what you do. And he has an Inflictor, he has two Angelius, he has a Ravagore, he has a Shepherd, and then Legionnaires and Max Pot. So overall, the big thing here is we've practiced this list before, and the nice thing is that even though he normally has a really huge combat threat and magic threat, he can't really do it because I can shoot down his guys. So I'm planning to take it somewhat cautiously, go in, shoot down his guys, and try not to get myself killed. So he takes first turn, and he's just zipping on up. He actually doesn't push up as far as he could like he normally does, but he has the Admonition on the one on the right and Refuge on the one on the left. And otherwise, yeah, he's just kind of up there in position, and I'm looking now at trying to decide which one of these Angelius to try and take out. So what happens here is I move up the Rangers to mark the one on the right. He actually admonitions into me, which is something I didn't really think of. I then have to shoot that Ranger in the back to kill him. And the way it worked was actually pretty surprising, is that with all of my other shots, I was able to kill the Angelius before I even got to eCaine. So eCaine came across to do a couple of shots to the left. Angelius did a little bit of damage. You can see I have some covering fire there, and otherwise I had turned one of my Risen into a Bane and just ran into the other Angelius, just kind of caused some activation issues. So on his turn, he does his best to try and take the next step here. What he does is he comes in, he kills the one Bane there, and kind of goes back there with the Angelius. He's really rushing up the Legionnaires, try and plug things up. He hasn't gone suicidal yet with his pot there. Something else I forgot to mention, he also has a lone Shredder. But otherwise, he doesn't really get anything done to me other than killing that one Bane. And at this point here, I'm feeling great because I'm pretty sure I'm in a spot where I can just kill a ton of his guys. He did try shooting a Ravagore shot into me, but you can see there that scattered back rather than into me. So that was nice. On my turn, oh, it was deadly. I go up there first with the Rangers, and they're able to shoot down a ton of those Legionnaires. Also went up there with the Sentinel. Unfortunately, only got one shot and wasn't able to finish off the last Legionnaire. With the Stormwall, I actually tried destroying the pot, but I left it on a few points. I mean, looking at the math, I wouldn't have destroyed it on average dice, so I probably should have allocated a little bit there to make it happen. Otherwise, what I did with him is came across and tried to destroy the Inflictor, but I left it on one box. So, and that's after I made the another Bane, charged him in, and he connected. But it would have been pretty nice to destroy the pot and the Inflictor, but I was probably asking for quite a bit. Either way, this was a pretty good turn. So on his return, he does some stuff, but it's not too much. So first of all, he uses the pot. He makes a Harrier, comes in, kills Ryan. So I don't have that special shot anymore. He charges over with the one remaining Legionnaire and kills that Bane. That fixes up the Inflictor. Inflictor, after it's healed up a little bit, runs back a little bit. This is the turn where his pot handlers kind of go apocalypse and kill each other and fill up that pot again just to make sure. And otherwise, he's kind of hanging back. There's not really overly much he can really do. And so looking at this, I'm pretty sure I can now clear out the zone and really make him in a bad spot. So on my turn, I had some interesting interactions. The rest of the 13th, because they have Gunfighter, can move up to that one Harrier, and because it's still shooting, I'm also having it marked by the Rangers. So they kill that Harrier, no problem. The Rangers, I had to make a decision. Either they could run and mark the Angelius, or I could just advance, and it was going to be a little bit iffy. I went and I just advanced, and I didn't quite make it there, but they were able to destroy all the rest of the little pot handler guys and the Inflictor. Then I went up with the storm wall, and it shot down the pot. He made a Harrier, and I failed to shoot it with my second shot. Then what I did is I popped my feet, and I want to kill this Angelius because if I kill it, well, I'm going to already dominate and good stuff like that, right? Well, unfortunately, I had some misses. I mean, if I would have actually been able to mark it, I think I could have finished it off. But I leave it alive with, I don't know, it was like 3 boxes or something small. So otherwise, the Risen are just making a defensive line. And again, I mean, he's in a pretty bad spot here. So on his turn, he really gets a lot of work done, but this is going to be his feat turn, and I mean, those obliterates can really kill your weak infantry really fast. So right now, all of my Risen were destroyed. He killed off a good number of my Rangers. I believe I just have 2 or 3 left. I think just 2. He also killed another 13th, so I only have Watts left. And at this point, though, even though he killed lots and lots of infantry, it's all stuff that at this point isn't really critical. I should now, on my turn, be able to kill the Harrier and the Angelius, dominate, and I mean, at that point, it's a Ravagore versus a Stormwall. So I am really looking good and not feeling too bad, even though I just lost a ton of models. So on my turn, that's what I kind of do. Alexia, because she's not really having else to do, she just runs up just so she can do that, what is it, magical or arcane disjunction to Vale. Otherwise, I go up and I'm able to kill both the Harrier and the Agelius. I'm hiding behind the storm wall, and yeah, things are looking good. So on his turn, it didn't really go well for him. The He tramples over with the Ravagore because the problem is that he needs to get the Ravagore in the zone in order to make it so I don't dominate again. So he does in a way where he's trying to go over Alexia, but he rolls like double ones or something, and I survive. He probably should have boosted, but he also did then bought some attacks against the Sentinel, did a little bit of damage there, nothing too crazy. But then with the shooting with Vale, she's able to shoot down Alexia, which then lets her do an obliterate, I think, or I can't remember what spell she actually cast, but pretty much what she got done here was killing Alexia and then running the shredder into me just to try and hold my guys down and get something else into the zone. So on my turn, I come over here with the Storm Wall. He's loaded up, but he doesn't really need all that focus. He's able to put that Ravagore into the dirt pretty easily. I was able to kill off that Shredder, no problem. And then I came over with eCaine, and I was going to be doing some shots into eVayl, but you know, I realized that first of all, at this point, when I put all that focus on the storm wall, if I was going to go and gate crash away, I actually couldn't do much at all. So I just gate crashed away back to be safe. And at this point, I'm dominating again. So now she's taken 10 points of damage, and I'm on the other side of the storm wall, and I'm safe, and all these good things. Well, the first thing we checked that I actually got lucky on because I didn't think about is that he could shoot my storm wall and then use it to arc through to send it after eCaine. But the thing here is that I'm actually just in his back arc. So from luck alone, I save myself from this. Then here, he says that, oh man, I'll have to do something crazy. So, I mean, he puts in the Shepherd into the zone just to make sure I don't dominate again. But his plan is to go and shoot Watts, this is something where I really need to get the lines painted on these guys, because especially with this whole shooting arc node thing, this is going to be fairly important. But I mean, with this whole idea, you need to shoot Watts, not kill Watts. That have to be the right distance, and then he's just going to do a boosted obliterate. But what I tell him is, well, you don't need to do that at all. Put refuge on yourself, shoot the storm wall, move back over here, and then you can shoot him directly. So that's what he does, and he hits me with a boosted obliterate, and you can look at that damage roll right there, 666. So, couldn't believe it. But we rolled out his plan after. He would have killed Watts. But in one of these things here, I mean, this is a practice for our tournament, and I don't feel bad for this, right? I know I played a pretty strong game, and either way, you know, we're kind of working together as a team so that our little group here will do better at the tournament. The other killer here, too, is if you look at it, he was down to 45 seconds. So, I mean, the main thing that I have to feel stupid about this is that there's no reason why eCaine needed to be up that far. I should have been as back as I could, back at the kill box, but you feel so snugly and safe behind that storm wall. I just did not think that there was any way that she could get to me. So there you go, a loss, but maybe I should get half points because it was my plan that beat me. So there you have it, but we have time for a second game. I'm now going to be pulling out my Nemo list with all the lightning and stuff because it was in a train ready to go. So now he's going to change up the terrain, but it's the same hardcore scenario. He's running the same list, except he's now traded out the Legionnaires and the Shredder to become Hex Hunters. It was one of the ideas I had. He would have to do a lot of painting, but I think those Hex Hunters are pretty damn good, and I think they're very much worth it. On my side here, I have Nemo running the Thunderhead, the Stormclad, the Max Storm Guard, the Storm Blades. I have Strangeways in there, and 3 Stormcallers. So I get first turn, and I'm just kind of rushing up there. I have it, so I have the +2 strength on the Stormclad. So he's P plus S 21, so he's going to hit very hard. And with locomotion, he has a very far threat range. All his infantry will really have to watch out for the Thunderhead. And at this point, I'm just moving up into position. On his turn, he goes up, he takes a shot that scatters with the Ravagore, and he's not able to damage the Stormclad, but he has that right there in front. Otherwise, you can see how he's really spacing all around us here. I really thought looking at this, I mean, oh, well, you just handed your Angelius to me, but he actually has Admonition up on the purple one. So, I mean, I could go just directly after the blue one with Locomotion and Charge and all this stuff, but he'll be very hard to hit. So, yeah, I'm kind of in a loop, or I'm not really sure how I'm going to actually deal with this in the center now. So in the end, what I do is I really want to kill one of the Angelius. So what I do is I put a 5 focus on the Thunderhead because I can, and I go up and I pulse and I kill 1 Hex Hunter and I zap the purple Angelius and then start shooting him even more, boosting damages and stuff, and really do some pretty good damage to him. Then what I do is I go up with the Stormclad and I go to do my shooting attack to him, but me being an idiot, I have range 8. I instead get within 6, so he admonitions away, and I now can't shoot him to finish him off. So he actually survives with 1 box. So I'm feeling so stupid. I'm going through the rest of my activations. I call down lightning onto the inflictor there, and it fails to do anything. So my Storm Guard are just kind of moving over just to kind of fill up the area. Otherwise, I call down Thunder on that one damaged purple one, fail my command, Lightning down on one of the Hex Hunters, fail that too. Storm Blades then just kind of move up to be up and counter. And it's at this point here I realize I'm an idiot because I did not do anything to make sure I won't get killed. He has very good ranged and magical assassinations, and there are plenty of holes to get to Nemo. So very stupid placement. But I don't know if it was just me being frazzled because of not being able to deal with the Angelius correctly, or if I just am not used to, it was so easy to hide with Caine, right? You do your thing, you gatecrasher away. Either way, I am left there with no focus. I don't even have deflection on me. That's from last turn. So bad picture, but all he needs to do is, well, pretty much whatever he wants. And after a couple of shots, Nemo goes down. So kind of embarrassing and stuff like that, because here you go, you think that, oh man, I'm doing so well, I'm starting to really get the feel of this ePIC list, I'm playing a very strong game, and then I play like an idiot like this. So this definitely wasn't a morale booster, but either way, hey, got another game in, and I hope you guys like watching. Bye.